um, first-line quarterbacks, they're hitting their targets like crazy. Jalen Hurts and Tua and Jake Fromm and so on. They're hitting their targets like crazy. We got a lot of good targets here, and yet, we're trying to hammer the ball, inside. Nobody's busting anything out or anything like that. If they don't get this straightened out, this is going to be a 5-loss season without a problem, and then we're going to, we'll be going to some, third-tier bowl game as a result, So,
well, I don't know if it's going to be a 5-loss season, but I will say that when you try to make comparisons to those other quarterbacks are simply better.
Well, yeah, they are. Yeah, Gator, they are better, no doubt about it. But we got a lot of good targets, and the offensive line for the most part is giving Patterson enough time to throw, and you got to hit them. You just got to hit these guys, and some of they're very predictable, on offense right now, extremely.
Well, I'm not sure the predictability is their problem, but I do think, I watch this thing. It's so impotent. They have one good drive in the second half where Patterson's back. He had a 7-step drop when his back foot hit the 7th step. And it wasn't almost never a 7-step drop because he's always in the shotgun. But when his back foot hit his last step, his 3rd step, his 5th step, bang, delivered on time. And they go right down the field. They get True Wilson involved in the run game. He cuts, breaks off a couple good runs, and they get into the red zone. They stall, and then they miss the field goal. And the field goal at that point felt like, all right, if they get up 2 scores the way the defense is playing, this one's over. And because they missed the field goal, they missed one earlier, although that was a 58-yarder. But if they missed, they make those, it feels like the game would have been over the way the defense was playing. The defense right now, that was an important performance for them because they hadn't played outstanding football like that all year. And then they shut out Rutgers and everyone kind of rolls their eyes. Iowa came in with similar rushing stats to Wisconsin and a quarterback that didn't make mistakes and an offensive line that didn't give up sacks. And they shut down the run game and they forced mistakes and they sacked him. And it might be the first time that the defense is going to turn the corner. But the offense better show signs in a hurry, or you're right, it's going to be a multiple loss season. And, Gaddis said he was a part of installing this offense before at Penn State. And they were 2-2, and they got pounded by Michigan 49-10, and they were at home against Minnesota, and they were down 13-3 at the half. And they got booed off the field, and they came back and won in overtime over Minnesota in State College. And they didn't lose again. And he said the light goes on. And, with each passing week, it's getting a tougher buy-in for people, and understandably so. But it better happen in a hurry.
Do you think there's a quarterback controversy?
No, because I don't think anybody's pushing him. I mean, McCaffrey's out with a concussion. Maybe they need to look to Milton. But until Dylan McCaffrey is back and healthy, and I mean, the thing about Dylan McCaffrey is I see all the same signs that everybody else does, and I think it might be worthy for a look, but it's important to keep in mind, I think he's completed pretty much one downfield pass in his career.
Sure, but if he's healthy,
he may get a look. But I don't know that he's a sure thing either. It was nice for them against Rutgers to get Joe Milton some snaps in hey, you're going to have the next 4 or 5 series. You don't have to score every play. Because I think when he got put into games late and he knew he had one shot, he'd force the issue. 248-539-9797. Aubrey is in Farmington Hills and next. Hi, Aubrey.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing good.
Good. Hey, I'd probably have more questions than answers. A couple things. I'm wondering about the offensive line, right, and the continuity there and whether they're strong enough. And I'll tell you that Shea Patterson looks different this year than he did last year. Last year, he certainly played with confidence. It wasn't fireworks and all kinds of points on the score, but they were certainly, a pretty good offense. This year, either he's hurt, either he's lacking confidence, either, as you kind of suggested, he hasn't quite bought into the system yet. I don't know what the answer is with Shea and what's going on there. And the reality is if we have the talent that we are supposedly have on our wide receivers, why aren't we throwing that ball downfield? Is Shea not seeing it? Is he not getting the time?
Well, Aubrey, two things here. One, I want to answer. I didn't suggest that Shea hadn't bought into the system. I don't know where that came from. I don't.
Yeah, and I didn't say that right. So not bought in, but that the light hasn't come on, or
I wonder if I were to pick out something with Shea that I wonder about is I wonder if he sees the whole field, because like the interception he had 3 receivers to that side of the field. He had Eric All short, wide open, and he had Ronnie Bell deep, wide open. And he went intermediate and threw an interception. And I think there's been a couple of occasions where I've just wondered, is he seeing the whole field? Like, and then I watched Aaron Rodgers yesterday, and it's unfair, right? I get it. I'm not comparing Shea Patterson to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers always sees the whole field. Like, he finds guys, and that's what makes him one of the things that makes him special. I think that maybe it's just a comfort level. Maybe as time goes on, a more familiarity with the offense, and say, okay, I know I've got these guys here or there, and get used to looking for them in certain positions. I'll tell you the other thing about Shea, Aubrey, is I really think that, and they did it a little bit this past week, but I think they need to do it more, designed runs for him.
Yeah. We're not seeing that this year yet, have we?
Not as much. Now, in their last possession, when they were trying to get the Iowa to use their timeouts and move the chains and get that first down that would have basically killed the game, they ran him twice. And he went for 4 yards and 3 yards, I think, in those 2 runs. And it was the Charbonnet carry that set him back. But the other thing is they had a stretch of plays where they fumbled twice in back-to-back plays. They recovered them both. And then on the third run, or the next play, is when Shea threw the interception. I mean, just boom, 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 all could have been catastrophic mistakes. They recovered the first fumble, they recovered the second fumble, and 2 plays later, after the interception, 2 plays later, they picked off Nate Stanley and avoided the catastrophic mistake. 248-539-9797, Jared in Clarkston. Hi, Jared.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. First
Sure.
time, long time. Appreciate Gator coming back. Hope you're feeling better, man.
Thanks.
We all missed you last week.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, some of those callers before me stole my thunder. I just kind of wanted to speak to my champ. Would be the Michigan defense. Again, the chump, I feel like week after week, is the Michigan offense, besides against Rutgers last week. I mean, I've been a season ticket holder for a long time, go to all the games, and this year was kind of, do we buy tickets, do we not? And we decided to pull the trigger because of all the great home games between Michigan State, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. And the first caller mentioned, being 8-5, and I don't see that being far from the truth. Maybe a shootout between Michigan State and maybe squeak one out there, but I definitely don't see him beating Penn State, Notre Dame, and Ohio State with these games coming up. And I just want to get your guys' take on it, what you guys think.
Well, the way the 2 defenses are playing, I don't know if I would say there's going to be a shootout between Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah, I agree.
Jared, if they don't get the offense together, I think multiple loss season, yes, it feels like it's coming. And I still believe in Gaddis, but it's the type of thing where, I'll talk to him tomorrow and I'll say, all right, where's it not connecting? Why isn't it working? Because it's not. And some of it has to do with any time you have a transition. But we asked this question early in the year because I was saying before the season started, I think there's going to be some growing pains with the offense. Don't forget that that's never an easy thing to do. Well, then the question becomes, when is it get to the point where it's not growing pains? It's just not going to happen. Whether it be the players that they have can't handle it, or the coaching staff doesn't know how to implement it correctly. I don't know. I don't know what the holdup is. If I did, I'd be a coach. But at some point, it's no longer about growing pains, right?
Absolutely. It's not. It's about something else. That you either don't have the right personnel to implement what you're doing, or you need to think of doing something else.
248-539-9797. Open lines. Karsch and Anderson, 97.1.